I have stuck close to Lincoln, who was only indirectly connected with the economic and social transformations of the period. Convinced, surprisingly, that 19th century America offered few nurturing materials, Donald presents Lincoln as the quintessential self-made man, who displayed enormous capacity for growth, which enabled one of the least experienced and poorly prepared men ever elected to high office to become the greatest American president. Some version of this single-handed climb from primitiveness to greatness narrative informs other biographies as well. Even the popular culture around Lincoln, in Donald's view, was tame and uninteresting. A cotton candy sea of maudlin writing and preachy effusions, as captured in Donald's generalization about the Civil War era. The feminine 50s were gone, but they were followed by the sentimental 60s and the saccharine 70s. It's true that there was a sentimental strain in the culture that held appeal for Lincoln, but the cultural scene was also ablaze with sensationalism, violence, and zany humor. Literature, penny newspapers, music, and popular exhibits full of strange, freakish images that sometimes verged on the surrealistic. This was the bizarre, turbulent popular culture, sulfuric acid, not sap, that Lincoln participated in daily in his own jokes and stories, which were modified versions of an American humor whose chief characteristic, he said, was grotesqueness. The current book reveals that Lincoln, far from distanced from his time, was thoroughly immersed in it. When he entered the presidency, he was neither inexperienced nor unprepared. To the contrary, he redefined democracy precisely because he had experienced culture in all its dimensions, from high to low, sacred to profane, conservative to radical, sentimental to subversive. Ralph Waldo Emerson noted that genius lies in being altogether receptive, in letting the world do all and suffering the spirit of the hour to pass unobstructed through the mind. For Lincoln, this meant traversing a culture's idioms, what Emerson called the whole scale of the language, from the most elegant to the most low and vile. In Emerson's words, a great style of hero draws equally all classes, all the extremes of society, till we say the very dogs believe in him. The person who most fully represented this breadth of vision, Emerson wrote, was America's 16th president. Abraham Lincoln is perhaps the most remarkable example of this class that we have seen. A man who is at home and welcome with the humblest, and with a spirit and a practical vein in the times of terror that commanded the admiration of the wisest. His heart was as great as the world, but there was no room in it to hold the memory of a wrong. Indeed, Lincoln was unusually responsive to the spirit of the hour, and this responsiveness fostered his practicality and his compassion. His close friend, Joshua Speed, commented, Lincoln studied and appropriated to himself all that came within his observation. Everything that he saw, read, or heard added to the store of his information. Nothing was too small to escape his observation. The Illinois lawyer, Leonard Swett, reported that Lincoln, who on the law circuit talked endlessly with average folk by day and pored over Shakespeare or Euclid by night, was the most inquisitive man I have known, one for whom life was a school. He was always studying and mastering every subject which came before him. Lincoln believed that the surroundings shape the person. According to his law partner, William Herndon, he often said, "Conditions make the man, and not man the conditions." But Herndon emphasized Lincoln also believed firmly in the power of human effort to modify the environments which surround us. Fate and free will, then, combined in Lincoln's outlook. There were times when he felt that fate had taken over. At a trying moment during the Civil War, Lincoln wrote, "I claim not to have controlled events, but confess plainly that events have controlled me." At other times, though, he took an active and aggressive stance toward the world. He became a shaper and a creator, not just an observer or a receiver. Lincoln declared, "He who molds public sentiment goes deeper than he who enacts statutes or pronounces decisions."